Good morning, student. Welcome back to our geography section. Today we start our new chapter, chapter number 7, Our Country India. We start this chapter with learning objectives. Learning objective of this chapter is neighboring countries, physical divisions and the political division of India. 3 points we discuss. In the physical division, we discuss about the Himalayan range, the northern plains, the Indian desert, the peninsular plateau, the coastal plain and the island territories. Now we start chapter with introduction. India is the seventh largest country in the world. Although India occupies only 2.4% of the world's land area, it supports over 15% of the world's population. It has a variety of landforms. It has mountains, hills, plateau, plains, river, basins, deltas, islands, forest land and coasts. In this chapter, we shall study about our country, India, its location, physical features and political boundaries. You have studies about the shape of the earth, the equator, longitudes and latitudes. Let us see where India is located as compared to the rest of the world. Take a look at the map of Asia and see how vast it spreads out. India is located in the continent of Asia. Asia is the largest continent and it is normally divided into West Asia, Central Asia, South Asia, and Southeast Asia. India is located in South Asia. Like all other countries, the boundaries are not straight lines. The northern half of the country is surrounded by several other Asian countries. Next point is neighboring countries. India shares its boundary with seven countries. These are Pakistan in the west, China, Nepal, and Bhutan in the north, Myanmar and Bangladesh in the east, and Sri Lanka in the south. Sri Lanka is slightly separated from India by the Park Strait. The southern portion from a peninsula which has the Arabian Sea on the west and the Bay of Bengal on the east. The Indian Ocean touches in the south. Extent of India. The north-south extent of India is between 8 degree 4th north to 37 degree 6 north latitude. This is the latitude position of India. Thus, you will find that the Tropic of Cancer passes close to the center of the country. And the east-west is separated from 68 degree 7 east to 97 degree 25 east longitude. It is the longitude position of India. If you calculate the east-west extent of the India is maximum of 29 degree 18 from east to west. You have learned that every one longitude makes a difference of 4 minutes of local time. This means there could have been a variation of nearby 2 hours mean 180 minutes between the two extremes of the country. But to avoid any confusion, India has chosen 82 degree 30 east, 82 degree half as its standard meridian. And the time of the meridian is followed all over the country. Thus, the Indian Standard Time (IST) is 5 hours and 30 minutes from prime meridian. Now, come on, next chapter. Next point in this chapter, next point is the physical division of India. This one is the second point. India has a variety of terrain and landforms. It has a huge mountains, hilly regions, plateau, river basins, deltas, deserts, islands. Let us see location and characteristics of the major physical division of India. First, we start from the Himalayan range. The Himalayan ranges. The northern Himalayan ranges. Along the northern borders of the country, there are a series of mountain ranges. These are commonly known as Himalayas. Himalayas is a word found by combining two words, Him meaning snow and Ale which means place of living, which means abode of snow. The Himalayan comprise of three main ranges. First one, the Greater Himalaya. In the northernmost of the three, it is also known as Himadri. The height of this mountains is around 6,000 meter above mean sea level. The highest peak are found in this range, which include the Mount Everest and K2. The Great Himalaya start in northern Kashmir and extend eastwards in the southern Tibet and Nepal. The Great Himalayan includes the Karakoram Range, the Ladakh Range, the Jaskar Range in Kashmir, and the Kailash Range in Tibet. The ranges have many glaciers which act as natural reserve of water. The next range, the center range or the lesser Himalaya. The center range is called the lesser Himalaya or Himachal. This range is considered as the most rugged mountain system. The altitude varies between 3,700 and 4,500 meters and the average width of 50 kilometers. While the Pir Panjal range from the longest and the most important range, the Dhauladhar is also another prominent range of the Lesser Himalaya. The Lesser Himalaya consists of the famous valley of Kashmir and the valley of Kullu and Kangra in Himachal Pradesh. This region is well known for its hill station. This range extends eastward in Nepal. This range is also known as the Mahabharat range. Now next, Shivalik. Now next on Shivalik range. The southernmost range of the Himalaya is called the Shivalik. This extends over a width of 10 to 50 km and have an altitude varying between 900 and 1100 meter. The Shivalik is covered with thick gravel and alluvium. The longitude valley lying between the Lesser Himalayas and the Shivalik is known as dunes. Dehradun is the one of well-known example when well-known dunes. Next point is Northern Himalaya Plains. First one is the Himalayan ranges and second one is the Northern Plains. This is the second physical division of India. The region of the south of the Himalayan range running west to east in northern plains. These have been formed by three major river systems, the Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra, along with their tributaries. This plain is rich in alluvial soil. The deposition of the alluvial soil over millions of years is known to have formed this plain extremely fertile. It is spread over an area of 7 lakh square kilometer. The plain is about 2,400 kilometer long and 240 to 320 kilometers broad. It is densely populated region. The northern plain are rich in minerals. They have fertile soil and have adequate water supply. The climate is also favorable. All these factors have led to higher agriculture productivity. The three main rivers, the Indus, the Ganga, and the Brahmaputra, from many tributaries in this region. The famous tributaries are the Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Beas, and Satluj, which join the Indus River, Yamuna, Gomti, Ghaghara, Gandak, Son, and Kosi flow into the Ganga River, and Tista, a major tributary of the Brahmaputra River. Both of Ganga and Brahmaputra merge together before they reach the sea or Bay of Bengal. They form a huge delta called the Sundarban, which is known to be the world's largest delta. The delta is spread in some part of India and Bangladesh. Now, next physical division, the Indian desert. The Indian desert lies towards the west of the Aravalli Hills. It is undulating sandy plains covered with sand dunes. This area received less rainfall and has a dry climate with low vegetation cover. The Peninsular Plateau. Next physical division of India. The Peninsular Plateau is a tableland. It is older than the Himalayas, which are considered as young mountains. The plateau is said to be formed by the cooling of lava which erupt out volcanoes billions of years ago. The plateau has broad and shallow valley and rounded hills. This plateau consists of two broad divisions, the Center Highland and the Deccan Plateau. First we start from Center Highland. The part of the peninsular plateau lying to the north of Narmada River, covering a major area of Malwa Plateau, is known as Center Highland. It has Vindhya Range on the south and the Aravalli Hills on the northwest. The Central Highlands are wider in the west but narrow in the east. The eastward extension of this plateau is are locally known as the Bundelkhand or Bundelkhand. The Chota Nagpur Plateau marks the further eastward extension drained by the Damodar River. Next one is the Deccan Plateau. Second division is the Deccan Plateau. Deccan Plateau is a triangular landmass that lies in the south of the Narmada River. The Satpura Range, along with other smaller ranges, form part of this plateau. The Deccan Plateau is higher in the west and slopes gently eastwards. The Western Ghat and the Eastern Ghat mark the western and eastern edges of the Deccan Plateau respectively. Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. Western Ghats. These lies parallel to the western coast of India. They are continuous series of low mountains. The Western Ghats are higher with an average elevations of 900 to 1600 meters. Annamudai Annamudai is the highest peak of the Western Ghat. The Eastern Ghat. The Eastern Ghats are not as continuous as the Western Ghat but irregular. They are dissected by many rivers draining in the Bay of Bengal. They are lower and have an average height of around 600 meters. The Eastern Ghat stretches from the Mahanadi Valley to the Nilgiri in the south. The coastal plains. The next physical division. The peninsular plateau of India has plain stretch of narrow coastal strips running along the Arabian Sea on the west and Bay of Bengal on the east. The western coastal plain lies between the Western Ghat and Arabian Sea. It is a narrow plain. Coast the northern part of the coast is called the Konkan Coast, Mumbai, Goa, while the southern stretch is referred to as the Malabar Coast. The eastern coastal plain, which run along the Bay of Bengal, are wider than the west coast in the northern parts. It is called Northern Sarkar, while the southern part is known as the Coromandel Coast. Rivers such as the Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri from deltas on this coast. Now next on the island territories, or last physical division of India. Lakshadweep Islands groups are located in Arabian Sea, close to the Malabar coast of Kerala. This group island is composed of small coral islands. Earlier, they are known as Minicoy Island but were renamed as Lakshadweep. They cover a small area of around 30 square kilometers. This islands group has a great diversity of flora and fauna. The Andaman Nicobar Island. The Andaman Nicobar Islands are a chain of islands located in the Bay of Bengal. They are bigger in size and are more numerous and secreted as compared to the Lakshadweep. The entire group of islands is divided into two broad categories, the Andaman in the north and the Nicobar in the south. There is a great diversity of flora and fauna in this group of islands too. These islands lie close to the equator, experience equatorial climates, and have a thick forest cover. Last learning objective of this chapter is the political division of India. Last and third one. India, as you seen, in the vast country, and for the easy administration and control of the people, Living in the country, it has been divided into many smaller territories known as states and union territories. The difference between the state and the union territory is that the states have their own respective state government, while the union territory is directly under the control of central government. India has 29 states and 7 union territories. These states were formed based on the local affinity of language and commonality of culture in this region. A look at the map about show that the states are different sizes. They have mixed type of topography within the state. They have different number of people living in them and have different culture and festivals. They all have their government in one of the city which is called the capital city, and the capital city of India is Delhi, New Delhi. Now complete this chapter. Read this chapter 2 times. Thank you.